AITA for taking away my stepdaughter's phone? My husband and I have been together for 6 years. Married for 4. He has a daughter Violet, F14. And I have a daughter Mia, F7. Violet was playing on her phone. Mia asked her if she could play and Violet said no. Mia said okay but then get bored after a while and asked me to ask Violet to let her play. I asked Violet if she would let her play just for 5 minutes. She said okay. Went to the window and threw the phone out, then told Mia she can have it now. I went out and found her phone and the screen was broken. I was so shocked. She is a little hot-headed, but this is an extreme reaction even for her. I told her the phone is broken and she is not getting another phone, and she just calmly told me that she didn't ask me for another phone anyway. I took away the rest of her electronics and told her she is not getting them either because she can't be trusted, and sent her to her room. The next day she went out and came back with a new phone. I told her she is not allowed to have a phone and took it away. My mill called me and said I am an asshole because I can't take away something she bought with her own money. She does babysitting, pet sitting and other jobs like that. I told her it's her punishment for breaking her phone, and she said it's her phone so she can do whatever she wants with it. She also told me to give the rest of the electronics back or they'll buy new ones for her. My husband agrees with me, but her parents think I was the asshole here. YTA. Your daughter is 7. Why is she asking for her 14-year-old stepsister's phone? And why are you backing her up? Where are her boundaries? She's certainly old enough to understand no, and if she isn't, that's on you. Violet needs to learn some impulse control, but I'd put money this was just the latest one of Mia's whims she's been expected to compromise on, and she just broke. YTA here 1000%. YTA. Maybe it's time for you to invest in video entertainment for your own kid instead of expecting Violet to provide the entertainment. YTA. You have 2 children. And one's wants are not greater than the other. It is hard for a teen to accept a new parents, especially when said parent believes their child is entitled to things that belong to the other. That phone is not yours. It is not your daughter's. I do not foresee this marriage lasting happily if you expect Violet to give up her belongings at Mia's whim. Violet, for her due, probably regrets throwing her phone, but it was the only recourse a hormone-swamped, uncomfortable teen could manage. I feel sorry for her in this household given her stepmother's lack of empathy. YTA. Violet's possessions are Violet's. Especially if she goes back and forth between your house and her mom's. And also in any stepchild-parent situation, it's never just your choice to make. Even if your husband agrees with you, bought the phone. Also, it is Violet's money to buy a new phone with. I will never agree that money, doing things with your hard-earned money, is something to let them do. And yes, there is a massive difference between Violet buying a phone versus an adult having to pay bills before they could get a new phone. God, I hate bills. You say Mia didn't want your phone because you don't have games on there. So, either put games on there for her, or get her her own device to play games on. An older sibling's device should not be for sharing, unless that was the condition it was purchased for. I want to say it sucks that your mill is threatening to buy Violet back electronics that you take away from her, but I'm getting missing reasons, vibes as to why that might be occurring. YTA. First, for giving in to your daughter when your husband's daughter said no. Second, for taking away her electronics, and third, for taking away her own bought new phone. Thank God she has her grandparents on her side. YTA. The fact that Mia asked Violet then went to you to ask Violet after she said no tells me everything I need to know about your relationship with both of them and why Violet may have reacted the way she did. Breaking her phone was an unusually strong reaction, but clearly this is not the first time her boundaries regarding her time and property have not been respected. No is a complete sentence. Violet doesn't have to share her phone, and if she says no, then that should be it. Having you come and start badgering her about it after she'd said no is what caused the reaction. And as it's Violet's phone, she's perfectly entitled to do whatever she wants with it. Hell, she can use it as a hockey puck, if she so desires. It has nothing to do with you or your daughter. Give back all of her stuff and stop bullying her. YTA. And a major one at that. YTA. It wasn't cool throwing the phone out the window, but you don't have the right to take something of hers that neither you nor your husband bought. You need to teach your own daughter boundaries. If someone already told her no, then let it be a lesson that she isn't always gonna get what she wants. Don't expect the girls to get along if you treat Violet like this and give in to your daughter. You're just making Violet resent Mia. YTA. If your daughter is bored, get off your butt and do something with her. It is not your stepdaughter's job to be live in entertainment. YTA. If your 7-year-old is bored, you entertain her. It is not on one child to give up her possessions on the whims of another. You had no right to take her new phone as she paid for it. Give it back. You didn't pay for it, so that's not punishment. It's theft. When the 7-year-old asked you to demand Violet give her phone to her, you should have either given her yours or used it as a teaching moment to show her she cannot demand what's not hers. As you have no respect for your stepdaughter's autonomy and how she reacted. I'm going to say this is not the first time this happened. Grow up and give Violet her things back and apologize. You're also a piss-poor parent raising your 7Y0 to be an entitled little brat. Edited for typos. You and your husband have been in a relationship for 6 years. And he was separated from Violet's mother for an undisclosed period of time before that. This means Violet was at most 8 years old when her family fell apart. Has she ever received any counseling? Anybody ever checked on her mental health? Do you have a reasonably healthy relationship with her? Or is she a troublemaker? I'm asking because this isn't a normal reaction for a 14-year-old to have when asked to accommodate their younger step-sibling. Protesting. Being rude. Sure. But she threw her own property out the window and destroyed it. Kids don't do that if they are fine. Or if they have a healthy relationship with you. Violet doesn't seem to respect you. Additionally, her grandparents' reaction suggests they don't respect you all that much either. If you think taking her electronics away is a solution here, YTA. YTA. She said no, your daughter can't use her phone once, so you shouldn't have pushed. I'm willing to bet money that this isn't the first time something like this happened, and throwing the phone out the window was her snapping. That girl is going to want nothing to do with you when she is of age if you carry on. YTA. It does not seem that taking away her electronics is having much effect on the actual problem. And taking away someone else's possessions is fairly questionable as a punishment. Especially when they are her things she bought herself. If she wants to break them, she's the only one that has a right to do so. You should try talking to your stepdaughter about why she broke her own phone rather than share it. And also ask yourself why you intervened and made her share her phone with a 7-year-old when she didn't want to. Why didn't you figure out a way to amuse your daughter for 5 minutes that didn't involve her older stepsister's property? I imagine you have a phone. And she probably has lots of toys and games that are actually hers. Bad response. Do better. YTA. I hate when little kids ask to play games on someone else's phone. Your 7-year-old daughter needs to learn how to play with toys and entertain herself. She will Learn crucial development skills during playtime where she can use her imagination. Your stepdaughter's phone is not hers to play with. End of story. YTA, and you don't get to dictate that your stepdaughter must surrender her items to your bio daughter on demand for fear of punishment. That's evil stepmother from Disney territory. YTA, sounds like you left something out there. Your 7-yo don't need to play with her sister's phone. Give her your own if you want her to play with one. I feel like you did a lot more than just asking your 14-yo. But no matter what, she bought her phone with her hard-earned money. It's legally hers and not yours. YTA, why didn't you just give your daughter your phone if it was so important for her to use one? Your stepdaughter said no. And you should teach your daughter that no means no. YTA. Although you're trying to teach your stepdaughter a lesson, you are also teaching your daughter that she can be a total brat. What is wrong with a child getting bored? Boredom is actually useful as it can help kids develop creativity to find what does interest them. Giving in to her demands will just cause problems later. As for your stepdaughter, throwing the phone out of the window is rather extreme. Do you have a history of making her do things or give up things for your daughter? If so, another bad lesson for both of them. YTA, teach your younger daughter that she isn't entitled to people's things. You guys suck as parents. Don't get me wrong. Her tossing her phone out the window was a bit over the top. However, you have zero right to tell her to let her sister play with her phone. YTA, for causing this to begin with and for further digging in your heels. You can give your own phone to your own daughter, but her sister shouldn't be expected to just give over something just because she wants it. Especially something as personal as a phone. You ever hear of boundaries? Privacy? Yeah, children and teenagers are entitled to that. So quit overstepping your bounds.
If you enjoyed this video, please check out our playlists full of similar content. Epic Haircast is like doom scrolling for your ears. Please like, share, and subscribe.